Well, hello, fellow worm farmers. This is Larry with the Wiley Worm Farm. One more time, it's time to feed our worms again. Now, tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to feed two bins. We normally feed one bin at a time, but we're growing a little bit, so we're going to just go one bin. First of all, I'm going to take my bubble wrap off. Now, I went to Wally World the other day, and I bought me some bubble wrap. So I'm going to replace this bubble wrap when I get through here. But bought me a roll of bubble wrap. I think it had 40 something feet on it. It's 20 inches wide, I believe it was. And that cost me about $11 or something, I think. I think that's right. But here we are, folks. We're in bin. I'm going to rename these bins now that I've got actually a new bin going. Let me see if we got any worms on this paper here. Well, my paper's coming loose. I don't see any worms on there. This paper here, I'm going to have to replace this one probably next time we do this. But I'm going to go into here. Now, this bin 101, last week I actually went in here and sifted some of this casting out. Next week I'm going to go back in here and sift some more castings out. Well, I see some banana peel there. Boy, that banana peel is just about gone. I'll just tear this in little pieces and put her back in here. But we did a good feeding here last week, so let's see what we got now, folks. See, right now I need to put some more. There's some worms. Now that's what I like to see. I'd like to see a bigger handful, but I like to see that right there. Nice worms. This is my first bin. Bin number 1. I'm going to call it bin 101. And there's some food still, a little bit of food left in here. Put that aside and I'll put that on the top. And I can see right now here, what have I got here? Oh, this is avocado. I remember, look at the worms here. Look at the worms there. You got a good shot there, Mr. Cameraman. There you go, that's avocado. They're a little slower eating of avocado than what I expected. This is the first time that I've ever fed my worms avocado. And this bin needs a little bit more liquid to it. So I'm going to get my little trusty squirt bottle here. I'm going to squirt these babies down, give them a little more moisture. Got a little too dry here, folks. And we don't like the bins to get too dry. This one here is going through a major sifting next week. And this will be my first full, complete sifting. I sifted some out last week through a 1/4 inch screen, but this coming week I'm going to sift it to the 1/4 inch screen, and then I'll sift it to the 1/8 screen, and then I will see how many cocoons in this bin. Now this particular bin here I started, today is September the 4th of 23, and I started this particular bin on January the 17th of 23. So this bin has been here a while. Still got a little too much dryness in it, but maybe this will do for next time, because we're going to sift it. We'll give it a complete sifting next time. I started this bin with 150 worms. Now this is my first bin, so I think it populated pretty good. And then I had a little setback, and I'm not sure what my setback was. It might have been that I let it get too dry. Now, you folks that's in the worm business, you know that you have to work on these. You have to work on these worms, and it's a learning process. I'm gonna make me a little trough here to put my feeding in. I got good feeding here today, folks. I'm telling you what. Just look at that, Mr. Cameraman. Great day in the morning. Look at what I got here. I got some cucumbers. First time I have fed my worms cucumbers. So I got me some cucumbers here. I attempted to thaw these out, but I didn't do a very good job of it. I'm going to break them up here a little bit if I can. I think I spilled a little bit of juice of this thing here. I got another cucumber down in there. Let me see if I can break this one here apart. There you go. Get worms to it a little bit better. First time I've ever fed them cucumbers. And this, folks, is tomato. It's also the first time I've ever fed my worms tomatoes. Also, I've got green peppers. First time I ever fed them green peppers. Now what I did, folks, I went to the local farmer's market recently, and I asked them if they had any scrap fruit, and they gave me enough for about a month. There's a half of a pear. We'll put the other half in my other bin. And let me see what else I got here. Yeah. A pepper. I got a few peppers. I don't really know about peppers. I'm a little bit concerned about that, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna put that one in there, and there's a lot more worms in my other bin, so I'm gonna save the rest of this from my other bin. And one more thing I got to go in here, or two more things actually, is some coffee grounds. These things love coffee grounds. So I'll give them some coffee grounds they like. And they're slow at eating this paper off this coffee ground, but with all that moisture in there, well, that's another coffee ground. I'll save that one for the next bin. And then I got to put some eggs here, some ground up eggshells. Put a little bit of that in there. Don't get too much here, Larry. Eggs, I got a fan overhead, so I'm gonna have to be careful with this eggshells. And then I'm gonna put the rest of what I had left in here. And there, remember, that's that avocado right there. I'm gonna cover this up good. Next time, well, there's one thing I did. No, wait a minute. I was gonna put some bedding over it, but since we're gonna sift this next week, I don't think I'm gonna put any more bedding on there. I'll just pile this up for here, and we'll wrap it up with this particular one. Put my stuff aside here. Put the paper back on here. I don't get it, but worms eat the newspaper. So I put my newspaper on here, and then I put my bubble wrap on here. And my bubble wrap maintains the moisture in here. Let's see, we got two things here. Yeah, I do. Here we go. Another bubble wrap. All right, Mr. Cameraman, now we shift over to this bin. Now this is the bin. This bin of worms here I bought from Mimi's Worms. And I got these last month. I don't remember the exact date, but I got these in last month. And I see some banana peels already. And this is about 1,000 to 1,200 worms. And I got probably a little more bedding than I should. Let me see. Oh boy, look at the worms. Great day. Look at the worms. Now all of my worms are all purebred red wigglers. The first batch I bought, which is this one over here, I bought 150 from Walmart. I learned later that I should not have bought from Walmart, but I have checked those worms out thoroughly, and I see nothing in that bin but red wigglers. So even though a lot of people say when you buy from Walmart you don't know what you get, but it sure does look like I got all red wigglers. Got a little wad of red wigglers here. And I fed this pretty good last week, and most of the food is gone. I got a little bit left. I'm going to feed this one good. Now this one had this batch of Mimi's worms. I bought a pound of worms and a quart of Mimi, and I trust Mimi. Talked to Mimi a couple of times. Real nice lady down in Valdosta, Georgia, one of the largest worm growers in the nation. And Mimi says that a pound of worms equals about 1,000 to 1,200 worms. So before my camera gives out on me, now look here, I'm gonna give this one here a really good feeding. There's a tomato, there's some cucumbers, chopped up cucumbers. There's some kind of leaf, I think that's cabbage or lettuce, I'm not sure which. And more tomatoes. And I got a clove of tomatoes right here. Boy, these guys here are going, they can party for a few days. I mean, they can really party a few days. All right. Set my plate aside. Put a little bit of coffee ground in here. I get plenty of coffee ground. My family likes coffee. We all drink coffee. Love our coffee in the morning. All right, there's my coffee. I'm going to take one of these coffee filters and put it here on top of this food they just put in here. That'll help maintain the moisture here. And then I will put my ground up eggshells. Now, they tell me that worms are like chickens. They've got a grit in their claw, and it helps to break up or helps to get down the food that they eat. These worms, such a tiny mouth, I don't see how they eat anything. But they do. They eat plenty, and that's what you want your worms to do. You want your worms to be always fed good, not overfed. Folks, you have to be really careful and do not overfeed your worms. It's not good for them. It's not good for the odors in your house if you got your worms in the house, which I do. I'm in the process of building me a rack. I'll have it by the time I do my next video, I'm sure. It'll take me a couple hours maybe to get that done. But I'm going to tell you, folks, I'm in South Georgia. I'm about 40 minutes from Valdosta, Georgia. So I'm in South Georgia. And folks, I'm telling you, it gets hot in South Georgia. Hot, hot, hot. And I don't like the heat. I grew up on a tobacco farm in South Georgia, so I should be accustomed to the heat, but I'm not. Do not like the heat. Well, I got my bubble wrap on here. And I think this is going to wind up our video for today. This here is November the 4th, 2023. This is Larry. I got a few links at the bottom, so if you will, check those out, Wiley Worm Farm. And also if you want to buy some pure red regular worms or mixed worms, Mimi's got those too. I'll put a link down to get those worms. God bless you until next time. Thank you for tuning in. Larry saying, have a good day.